Brondello looked at Paige Bueckers and said, hell no, I'm good on that. Damn, you hate to see it, but you love to see it. Sandy Brondello gets offered a big contract, more money than she took at the Toronto Tempo, to come to Dallas and coach one Paige Bueckers, and Sandy Brondello said, you know what? I'm good on that. I'll take my talent.
Sandy Brondello just stunned the entire basketball world. Sitting in front of her was a contract so massive it could have rewritten her legacy. An offer from the Dallas Wings worth more than anything she'd ever seen in her coaching career. Their entire pitch revolved around one dream, pairing her with the once-in-a-generation phenom Paige Bueckers. The offer was bold, historic, and impossible to ignore. But then, she said no, a flat-out rejection. The moment the news broke, the league was left speechless. This wasn't just a routine decision, it was a message. A statement about priorities, about what really matters when legacy outweighs luxury. Everyone started asking the same question. Why would Sandy Brondello, one of the most successful coaches in WNBA history, walk away from a golden offer like that?
Reports come out, the Dallas Wings will keep head coach Chris Conclains, whatever his name is, heading into his second season as the coach. Fast forward 24 hours, Sandy Brondello was fired as the New York Liberty coach. Fast forward 24 hours after that, Chris, you've been relieved of your duties. We are going after Sandy Brondello. Let's get right into it. Please like the video, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of the support we've been getting this offseason. Sandy Brondello turned down more money to coach the Tempo.
The Dallas Wings didn't hold back for a second. The moment Brondello became available, they went into overdrive. Within days of the New York Liberty letting her go, Dallas made their move, and it wasn't subtle. They fired their own head coach, Chris Conklin, clearing the path to bring Sandy in. Their message was clear: you're the missing piece. They saw Brondello as the championship architect who could turn Paige Bueckers into the face of a dynasty. The negotiations were intense, the numbers jaw-dropping, the timing perfect. But despite the pressure, the money, and the spotlight, she refused. Dallas had gone all in and lost.
Appreciate all of the support we've been getting this offseason. Sandy Brondello turned down more money to coach the Tempo. Two-time championship winning coach Sandy Brondello had her own free agency experience this fall after the New York Liberty fired her in September, less than a year removed from leading the franchise to its first title. New York still hasn't signed a head coach. Remember how they made it seem like they had some NBA talent lined up? Some possibles all ready to backfill? Seems like the general manager of the New York Liberty were blowing smoke up y'all asses.
It all began months earlier when the New York Liberty made one of the strangest decisions in recent memory, parting ways with Brondello, less than a year after she delivered the franchise its first ever championship. The news hit like a thunderclap. Coaches with her resume don't just become available. Suddenly, the most respected basketball mind in the league was a free agent. Offers flooded in. The phone didn't stop ringing. Nearly every team with an opening made their pitch. Everyone knew this was a once-in-a-decade opportunity, the kind that reshapes franchises.
And some possibles all ready to backfill? Seems like the general manager of the New York Liberty were blowing smoke up y'all asses. We're what, a month removed from that now? 3 weeks removed from that now? And we still haven't figured out who the head coach of the New York Liberty is going to be? Did the person who they had pegged say, I'm good, the NBA season's about to start, I'll just stay here? What's going on there in New York? And is the GM gonna be on the hot seat? I'm seeing things about Breanna Stewart and Jonquil Jones. I'll dive into that maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe never.
But even as Brondello's next chapter was unfolding, the situation in New York turned strange. The Liberty front office had promised fans they had NBA-level talent ready to take over. Yet weeks passed, and the position remained vacant. Rumors swirled about indecision, internal tension, and hesitation behind the scenes. The league started to notice. It wasn't just about losing a coach, It was about losing the coach who brought structure, unity, and culture. As time went on, the Liberty's silence spoke volumes. It became clear, Sandy Brondello had left behind shoes no one seemed ready to fill.
NBA franchises Brondello received offers from, according to multiple sources, the Wings, the Storm, and the Toronto Tempo. Indeed. Just like any other top free agent, Brondello had to outline her priorities. For some, the top priority is location. For others, it's money. And then there are those who only care about fit and winning. In the end, Brondello fell into the latter category. Despite receiving a more lucrative offer from another WNBA suitor, according to multiple sources, Brondello accepted the Tempo job because of the collaboration she felt with the team's front office.
Meanwhile, 3 teams emerged as the final contenders: the Dallas Wings, the Seattle Storm, and the Toronto Tempo. Each made aggressive offers, building their entire future pitch around Brondello's vision. Big contracts, big promises, big stakes. Executives flew out personally. Owners joined calls. Entire roster plans were reshaped around her potential arrival. For the first time, a head coach was the centerpiece of the WNBA offseason, and the basketball world waited, because everyone knew whichever team landed Brondello would instantly become a title threat.
Multiple sources told Front Office Sports she signed a multi-year contract that pays her 7 figures. This will make her one of the highest paid coaches in the WNBA, joining Nate Tibbetts and Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon as the 3 known coaches in the league earning at least $1 million salary. Former Liberty assistant Sonia Rahman was hired by the Seattle Storm, and while the terms of her deal have not been disclosed, league sources told Front Office Sports that her multi-year deal has a high 6-figure yearly salary with the potential to eclipse $1 million with bonuses. Could it have been the Seattle?
But here's the twist. Sandy Brondello wasn't chasing a paycheck. She never had. She's the kind of coach who believes chemistry matters more than contracts, and that vision always outweighs vanity. She studied each offer carefully, not for the dollar signs, but for alignment, for purpose. She wanted to build, to teach, to shape something lasting, and when the dust settled, she chose the path no one expected. She turned down the brightest lights and the biggest salary to go where her principles led her.
Let me show you. This is the place I wanted to be, Brondello said Tuesday. To build a team from the ground up, that really excited me. She could have built the team from the ground up with Dallas, with Paige and Quinterly, and gutted the whole roster. But she chose to do it in Toronto. Again, could that logic apply to Seattle? It could, but based on Nneka Ogwumike's
Her choice? The Toronto Tempo. While Dallas offered her more money, Toronto offered something rarer: trust. From the very first meeting, Brondello felt it: a genuine collaboration, a sense of respect, and a shared mission to grow something meaningful. So she said yes, not to the highest bidder, but to the team that believed in building from the ground up. Behind the scenes, her multi-year deal reportedly reached 7 figures, placing her among the top-paid coaches in league history, shoulder to shoulder with legends like Becky Hammon and Nate Tibbetts. But for Brondello, the true reward wasn't in the paycheck. It was in purpose. She wanted one final project, one last masterpiece before stepping away from the sidelines for good.
Worse than the veterans that I was just coaching. Why would I go to Ogwumike, who's worse than Stewart? Why would I go to Skylar, who's worse than Sabrina? Why would I go to Ezzy, who's worse than Jonquil Jones? Why would I do that? Yes, Andy, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I would trade my whole team for her, but here we have no thanks. I'll take less money. I thought Paige had motion. Yeah, everybody knows that it's Paige. Everybody knows that it was the Dallas Wings. I mean, we can try to make it seem like the Seattle Storm.
Yes, you heard that right. After inking her deal with Toronto, Sandy Brondello confirmed that this would be her final coaching chapter. After decades in the game, from player to head coach, from championship highs to shocking exits, she quietly announced that she plans to retire after fulfilling her commitment with the Tempo. No press tour, no dramatic farewell, just a calm acknowledgement that every journey, no matter how legendary, eventually reaches its final season. Her decision to walk away at the top isn't about fatigue or failure, it's about fulfillment. She's leaving on her own terms, with dignity, having proven that integrity and impact still matter more than fame or fortune. As for Dallas, they're left wondering what could have been. For Toronto, they've gained not just a coach, but a mentor, a builder, and a future Hall of Famer ready to shape a new generation of stars. Sandy Brondello's story isn't just about basketball, it's about legacy. About the courage to say no when everyone expects you to say yes. About choosing purpose over profit, vision over vanity, and peace over pressure. She's walking away not because she's lost the fire, but because she's already lit the torch. And now she's passing it on. In a league that's constantly evolving, one truth remains timeless. Greatness isn't defined by the size of the paycheck, but by the impact you leave behind. And for Sandy Brondello, that impact will echo long after she's taken her final bow.